Fox and Dog, the rest of the story. Narration by Carl. Artwork by Sky. The book is available from Amazon. Winner of the Tashi Book Award, 2018, Madison, Wisconsin. Fox and Dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Well, we all know that much, of course. But what happened next? Did the dog jump over the fox? Did the dog bite the fox? Did the fox bite the dog? Indeed, none of these things happened. In fact, the quick brown fox ran away and did not return until the next day. By then, the lazy dog, who had not moved since the jumping incident, was quite upset. He made it clear that under no circumstances would there be any more jumping over anyone by anybody, so long as he was around. "Grrr, woof, woof," threatened Dog. "My dear Mr. Dog," sympathized Fox in his native French, "I do hope the jumping incident yesterday did not upset you." Of course Fox knew full well that Dog was upset, but he wanted to have a little fun with him. Besides, today was Fox's birthday. He deserved to have a little fun. And what could possibly go wrong on such a special day? Fox was a full 4 years old, and Grandmother had promised him a special birthday celebration. Fox was in a happy, playful mood. Dog, however, was in no mood to play. Having no idea what Fox was saying, he replied in his usual surly manner, "Grrr, woof, woof." "Oh, Mr. Dog, I am insulted," Fox exclaimed. "You have shown yourself to be a brutish and uncivilized beast at best. I challenge you to a duel. Choose your weapons." "Grrr, woof, woof," snarled Dog, and he lunged at Fox with his teeth bared. Fox, being clever, had anticipated this and was prepared. He ducked behind a nearby log that hid the entrance to his den. Quick as a wink, Fox was down the hole, with Dog in hot pursuit. Dog growled, "Grrr, woof, woof," as he wedged himself deep into the narrow hole, struggling to reach Fox. "Help! Help! Mr. Dog has trapped me!" wailed Fox loudly. "I fear my fate is sealed!" In the excitement of the moment, Fox had cried out in Italian, but it made no difference to Dog, who barely understood simple English. "Grrr, woof, woof," grumbled Dog, as he realized he was now stuck in the entrance to Fox's den. "Ha! Mr. Dog, you are indeed a fool!" exclaimed Fox, this time in French, as he ran for the emergency exit. Dog clawed frantically at the ground, trying to force himself into the den. "Grrr, woof, woof," he whimpered in frustration. Fox gloated to himself. "Oh, what a clever fox I am!" Then he remembered that just last Saturday he had blocked off the emergency exit with a heavy boulder to stay dry during a rainstorm. He knew he could not move the boulder from inside the den. What to do? What to do? Time was running out. Dog was just about to break through. "Grrr, woof, woof," barked Dog excitedly. Fox was frightened. Suddenly Dog was in control, and it was all his own foolish fault. Fox felt the hair on his back stand up and a chill wash over his body. "I am clever. I can think of something," he told himself out loud, again slipping back to the Italian he had learned from Grandmother Fox when he was a young kit. Grandmama always knew what to do. What would she do now? Fox spied a large pot of water near the entrance to the den. He quickly tipped the pot over, spilling the water onto the dirt floor, then ducked into a darkened corner, just as Dog finally broke through the entrance. Dog came running pell-mell down the entryway, slipped on the wet, muddy floor, and slid hard into the far wall. Fox darted out of his hiding place and dashed toward the entryway. Dog, covered with mud and furious, barked angrily as he struggled to regain his footing. "Grrr, woof, woof," he threatened. Fox scampered across the den toward safety. "Hurry, hurry," he urged himself on. He was just about to reach the entrance when he too slipped on the muddy floor, tumbling into the wall. "Darn dag nabbit!" He cursed loudly in German. He always cursed in German. Dog, seeing his chance, bounded across the den and clamped his teeth over Fox's tail. "Arrgh! I am caught!" wailed Fox. "Grrr, woof, woof," Dog mumbled in triumph. It was the best he could do with his mouth full of fur. Well, now that Dog had finally caught Fox, he was a bit unsure exactly what he should do. He growled menacingly and shook his head back and forth. "Grrr, woof, woof," Dog repeated as Fox struggled to keep his footing. Fox knew he was no match for Dog in a fight. He would have to outwit Dog to escape from his predicament. "Mr. Dog! Mr. Dog! Woof, woof!" cried out Fox in English, hoping he would be understood. Dog was startled to find that Fox could speak in a manner that he recognized. "Grrr, woof, woof," he replied. "You're hurting my tail, Dog. Please let go," Fox ordered sharply, hoping that Dog would respond to this simple command. "Grrr, woof, woof," mumbled Dog, but he did not let go. Fox tried again. "Of course we're just playing, Dog, and this has been great fun, but I'm tired of this game now. Why don't we take a break and have a nice rabbit dinner? It would be wonderful to share a delicious roasted rabbit dinner with you, Dog, one of my very dearest friends. Please let go so I can prepare the meal." "Grrr, woof, woof," replied Dog. He hadn't known he was one of Fox's very dearest friends. He wondered if Fox really did mean to prepare a delicious rabbit dinner. He began to drool in anticipation, but held on tightly to Fox's tail all the same. Fox continued. "Mr. Dog, I've some excellent meaty bones hidden just outside the den. It will truly be an honor to share them with you, whom I have greatly admired all these years. Why don't you release me now so I can go get them? They will make a tasty appetizer for our delicious rabbit dinner." Dog's drooling increased. Fox could feel Dog slowly losing his grip on his wet, slippery tail. "Grrr, woof, woof," mumbled Dog, not sounding very menacing at all now. Those meaty bones sure did sound good. Maybe he should let go. Fox was just about to tell Dog about the leftover squirrel he had hidden under the log when a loud barking and howling came from just outside the den. Both Fox and Dog looked up the entryway to see a dozen or more fox faces looking back at them. The foxes broke into a loud chorus of happy birthday as they crowded down into the den. "Joyeux anniversaire, joyeux anniversaire, joyeux anniversaire, notre ami, joyeux anniversaire." It was Fox's grandmother and his friends. They'd come to celebrate his birthday. What good fortune! What excellent timing! "Grandmother," cried Fox, "how wonderful to see you!" Dog was stunned. His mouth dropped open and released Fox's tail. An entire pack of rowdy foxes stood between him and the entryway, his only means of escape. "Grrr, woof, woof," he thought miserably to himself as he moved quietly to the back of the den, trying to look like another fox. Of course that didn't work, even for a moment. When the foxes saw Dog, their singing came to an abrupt halt. They stared in shocked disbelief at Dog. What was a dog doing in Fox's den? Dogs were enemies of foxes. Was Fox a double agent? No, that's crazy. Was Dog Fox's prisoner? Was he an intruder? What in Foxdom was going on? They looked from Dog to Fox and back again. Fox had to make an explanation, and quickly. "Oh, ha ha! My friends, of course you're wondering what this miserable cur is doing in my den," said Fox, trying to sound nonchalant. He kicked a spray of dirt at Dog, who was cowering in the corner, and spoke sharply in English. "Get back to work, you scoundrel! Clean that rock over there, and be quick about it." Dog looked terrified. He recoiled even deeper into the corner. There was no escape. Fox felt a strange sensation, almost as though he was feeling sorry for Dog. He hesitated for a moment, then shook it off and kicked more dirt at Dog. In his meanest voice, Fox demanded, "Well, what are you waiting for? Get to work. Now!" Dog slunk over to the rock and began brushing it with his tail. Fox's friends laughed and began to relax. Fox continued his explanation. "I caught this wretched beast trying to steal the bones I'd buried in the clearing outside. Of course, I could have simply chased him away, but I had decided instead to make him clean my den in preparation for my birthday party." Dog was miserable. He couldn't understand what Fox was saying, but he didn't think they'd be sharing that delicious rabbit dinner now, even though he had let Fox go. "Grrr, woof, woof," he thought unhappily, wishing he was home. Again, Fox felt that strange sensation wash over him, this time even stronger than before. He thought maybe he was getting the flu. But then he realized that, incredible though it seemed, he was actually feeling sorry for Dog. "This has gone quite far enough," he thought, muttering a curse under his breath. "Fiddlesticks! Time to end it." Fox spoke to Dog, who continued to obediently sweep the rock with his tail. "Mr. Dog, have you learned your lesson?" "Grrr, woof, woof," replied Dog. "Very well, then. I shall escort you outside and set you free. See that you never show your face around here again." Fox motioned with his head for Dog to follow him up the entryway. The strange feeling remained, but Fox was determined to ignore it. "Follow me, Dog," commanded Fox. Dog trotted behind Fox up the entryway hole. He was tempted to latch onto Fox's tail once more, but sensed that would be a mistake. "Grrr, woof, woof," he growled quietly in frustration. Fox intended to let Dog go and return to the party, but several of his fox friends followed him outside, laughing and jeering at Dog. They were in a jolly mood, and now thought it great fun that Fox had triumphed so completely over Dog. As soon as they reached daylight, a half-dozen foxes surrounded Dog. Dog wanted to make his getaway, but he knew that the foxes were faster than him, and he would be no match for a whole skulk of foxes. Fox's friends weren't shy about saying what they thought should be done with Dog. "Let's cover him with mud and throw him in the briars," suggested a scrawny fox with a large white patch on his tail. "Let's push him off the cliff," urged another, who was so disheveled that he looked like he'd fallen off a cliff himself. Dog didn't know what to do. He looked nervously from fox to fox and paced in a circle, while the foxes all around him became bolder and more aggressive. A couple of young foxes, barely a year old, joined the group and began to dart toward Dog, nipping at his feet. Dog put his tail between his legs and snapped weakly at them when they got close. "Grrr, woof, woof," he threatened. But they were too quick to be caught, and there wasn't much Dog could do with an entire skulk of foxes surrounding him. "Let's chase him round the woods till he drops," cried a sinewy fox who looked as though he could run forever. "No, let's just get him now," howled another as the circle of foxes closed in around Dog. Fox could see that Dog was terrified. He felt that strange flu-like feeling growing stronger and began hoping Dog would find some way to escape. Grandmother would know what to do, he thought. Maybe he should go and get Grandmother. "Yes, I'll do that," he muttered to himself in Italian. But just as he turned to go into the den, Grandmother emerged from the entryway and, simply by clearing her throat, silenced all the other foxes. My dear fox friends, she began, speaking in her refined native Italian. Her voice was soft, yet commanding. When grandmother spoke, foxes listened. I am sure you had great fun tormenting Dog. And Father Fox, who created us all, must be smiling now, pleased with your enthusiastic defense of foxdom against the infidel. At the mention of Father Fox, all the foxes in unison bent their forelegs and touched their chins to the ground. Grandmother had the full attention of all the foxes now. Those in the den had come out to see what was happening, and Dog was now surrounded by a full 24 foxes. Grandmother continued, However, let us not forget why we are all here. This is our dear friend Fox's birthday, and the meal must be prepared. Then, in a commanding parental tone, there is work to be done in the den, and it will not get done by itself. That was all she needed to say. As grandmother turned to trot toward the den, the young fox nearest Dog darted in to take one last nip at his hindquarters, then scurried after her. Dog was confused. He had no idea what Grandmother Fox had said. As all the foxes obediently trotted toward the den, he muttered softly to himself, Grrr, woof, woof. They're giving up, thought Dog. I've won! Dog puffed up his chest, feeling a bit braver now. He barked at the retreating foxes. Grrr, woof, woof. This outburst from Dog caught Grandmother's attention. She spoke sharply in English. Dog, stay. Dog was startled. He wanted to run. This was his chance to escape. But somehow Grandmother's commanding tone left him unable to move. He stood frozen in place as the foxes filed past Grandmother and disappeared down into the den. All but Fox, that is. Grandmother motioned for Fox to wait by the big log where he buried bones for special occasions. After a moment, Grandmother trotted over to the log, dug up a bone, and, with a flip of her head, tossed it to Dog. Dog pounced on the bone as though he hadn't eaten in days, and, tail wagging, began chewing and slobbering loudly. Being a simple dog, it didn't occur to him that this might be a trick. He guessed that maybe Grandmother Fox was also one of his very dearest friends. He muttered softly to himself as he chewed on the bone. Grrr, woof, woof. Fox, on the other hand, was dumbfounded. Why in foxdom would Grandmother be kind to a dog? She had shown no previous signs of dementia. She didn't appear to be drunk. It was unthinkable that she was afraid of Dog. The stories of her heroic exploits in the infamous Dog Wars were the stuff of fox legend. The word appeasement was not even in Grandmother's vocabulary. Why, once when a large hunting party with more than 20 dogs was closing in on Grandmother and 2 fox friends, she displayed near suicidal bravery to save her friends, giving no thought to her own safety. As her friends began to panic and all appeared to be lost, she suddenly reversed direction and ran straight toward the hunters. Then at the last minute she veered off to lead the dogs on a 5-mile chase away from her friends, just barely escaping with her own life. She most certainly was not a coward. What could she be thinking? Grandmother began to speak softly, so she would not be heard in the den. Dog was more curious than afraid now. He lay down and curled up with the bone between his paws, cocking his head to one side to listen intently, even though he could understand none of Grandmother's words. Poco Volta, began Grandmother, using Fox's pet name from when he was little. Not so long ago, you were a young kit, just learning to play jump over the dog, and fox and hound. You had a special playmate then who did everything with you. Do you remember? Dog began to drool, imagining that his 2 very dearest friends were planning that delicious rabbit dinner. Grrr, woof, woof, he hummed quietly to himself in anticipation. He He wagged his tail and perked up both ears as they continued to talk. "Of course, Grandmama," said Fox. "I remember. My friend always wanted to play the dog." "Yes, Pocafalta, and you may remember that he spoke very little, saying only, 'Grrr, woof, woof.'" "Why, yes, Grandmama, I always thought that was a little odd," said Fox. "And I remember he was very large for a fox, with big feet, and he liked to bite my tail and play tug-of-war, and he... Fox stopped and felt a cold shiver course down his spine. It couldn't be! His eyes widened. "Yes, Pocafalta," said Grandmother. "You've known Dog longer than you realized. Life can be very strange for a fox sometimes." Grandmother nuzzled his neck and said, "I'm going to help with the dinner now. You'll know what to do." And with that she descended into the den, leaving Fox alone with Dog. "I'll know what to do? I will? What does that mean?" thought Fox. He was so confused he could hardly remember to breathe. He started to run after Grandmama to ask her what she meant, but stopped after a few steps and turned to look at Dog. Dog was still lying down and looked up at Fox in happy anticipation of that delicious rabbit dinner they were soon to share. "Grrr, woof, woof," he said softly. Fox thought this sounded more like contented wuffling than a threatening bark. Dog didn't look mean or scary. In fact, he looked... Fox couldn't quite place it. Lazy? Dim-witted? Well, yes, of course. But there was something else. Something like happy or friendly. Yes, unbelievably, Dog looked friendly. Like he just wanted to play. This was truly stranger than fiction. Dog began to wag his tail and pant. Fox motioned for Dog to follow him to the entry of the den. "Grrr, woof, woof," Dog thought, wondering if maybe that delicious rabbit dinner was finally ready. He picked up his bone and followed Fox, leaving a trail of drool behind him. As they approached the den, Fox spoke in a loud, threatening manner, projecting his voice down the entryway. "Now get off my property, you stinking, filthy canine, and never return!" Dog was startled. He didn't understand what Fox had said, but it didn't sound very friendly. Fox was so confusing. Dog began to slink away with his tail between his legs and the bone clenched tightly between his teeth. "Mr. Dog," Fox whispered after him, "I didn't really mean that part about never returning." Dog stopped and listened warily. Fox continued, "Perhaps you could come back to play with me after the foxes leave. I do find you quite a fascinating conversationalist." Fox seemed almost friendly, not threatening at all. Dog thought Fox must be one of his very dearest friends after all. And he did like to play. He walked back to Fox, wagging his tail, and dropped the bone at Fox's feet. He hoped Fox would understand that this meant they were friends, and he would come back. "Grrr, woof, woof," said Dog softly as he turned and trotted away, feeling quite contented. He was already looking forward to playing Jump Over the Dog, and hoped Fox hadn't forgotten about that delicious rabbit dinner. Friends are good, he thought happily. Fox watched Dog trot away with his tail wagging. As he buried the bone to save it for his new friend, a warm, happy feeling washed over him, and he knew that making friends with Dog was the right thing to do. He hoped Dog would come back soon, and resolved that he really would prepare a delicious rabbit dinner for him. And of course playing Jump Over the Dog once again would be a lot of fun. As he scampered back to his birthday party in the den, Fox decided to tell the others that Dog was an old friend and insist that they be nice to him. He knew Grandmama would approve. Friends are good, he thought to himself. And that is how Fox and Dog began, once again, to be friends. The end.